This comment about ex-Mormons is so on point. Please read through it. But basically, it speaks to the point that humans are multi-dimensional beings. Meaning, we go through phases, we go through different archetypes of people. We have a myriad of parts to our entire vessel. We have an inner child, we have an inner adolescent, we have a church going side to us, we have a rebellious teenager side of us, we have a motherly side of us. There are so many sides of us, I probably couldn't even quantify them all verbally. And so when we're talking about ex-Mormons and anger, because many members have come into my comments section saying, why are they so awful? They're so mean. Why are they so horrible? I don't understand. Members are just out here trying to live and be better people. And I completely concur and understand now. I see both sides because I have been both. And I wouldn't say I'm either right now. I would say I'm a very happy middle and it feels really good to be in this place. But I had to live in both places to understand both archetypes of people. And I think the Mormons saying, why do they have to be so mean, is absolutely valid. I remember being very mean to Mormons when I was an ex-Mormon. I remember feeling like I was above them. I remember being so just irritated with them. And everything that they did, I considered to be malicious. If they were being nice to me, it was because they were trying to reactivate me. If they were paying their tithing, it's because they wanted to have blessings in return. If they were, living out their callings and trying to serve other people, I thought of it like they were trying to climb this ladder of Mormonism so they could have clout. I mean, literally, I thought that everything that they were doing was short-sighted, based on ego, and probably because they were brainwashed, if I'm being totally honest. And so was I the nicest person? Absolutely not. And so I can actually have a lot of sympathy for ex-Mormons because I know what they're going through. It is an absolutely traumatizing experience to step outside of your faith and recognize that there are some real problems with it and that a lot of the things that you were taught as a child were whitewashed. A lot of things were left out and you didn't get the full picture. It's easy to feel cheated and it's easy to feel like the people in the church don't actually know the things that you know. However, I'm going to say now that I'm on the other side of it and I've decided to go back to church after having my records removed, and I can look at the members now for who they are, which is really God-fearing people that are just trying to live a godly life. They're trying to love others. When they love you, it might be to reactivate you, but that's because they don't want you to leave their fold. They don't want you to leave their tribe. It makes them sad to see you go. They're worried for you. That's a beautiful sentiment. And members that pay their tithing, they're making a huge sacrifice to financially contribute to an organization that they feel is giving to people and helping humanity. And they also believe they're following God's commandments. That's a beautiful sentiment. Members of the church that are serving in positions, especially high positions like the bishop or the Relief Society president, they're doing it because they have a conviction that they're serving God, that they're loving people. Love is really at the crux of a Mormon service in most cases. Often they get derailed. Often they do things out of ego. I've seen all of it, but that's in every organization. That's just being a human. So now I can look at it like I can see that their intentions are good and that they're based from love in most cases. I can also understand an ex-Mormon's anger. I can understand the unfairness that they feel. And I think this understanding has completely led me to concur with this commenter because she is saying that we are humans that are ever learning and that we go through all kinds of things. And we may not understand why our neighbor is acting a certain way because we're not having the experience that they're having. And that's okay. We're all here to learn different things and have different experiences. Let's let people traverse the path of life in their own direction and how they feel is appropriate for their life. Let's not have the audacity to think that we know what's best for everybody. Let's let people, in an ex-Mormon's case, go out into the wild of life, experience things, have different relationships and different life experiences that teach them lessons. Let them follow their path. Let them follow their bliss because that is what they're put here to do. We don't actually know what's best for them. We don't actually know that Mormonism is the right answer for them. Truly. And if we're looking at Mormon people, active going church members, Latter-day Saints, let's let them live their life of following a certain subset of rules and advice that makes them happy, that gives them safety. I have a friend who's never left the church. I've known her since I was in my early 20s. We've reconnected. Shout out if you're watching this, you know who you are. I love you. But she has never strayed. She has kept her hand firmly on the proverbial iron of rod. Rod of iron? Iron rod? It's been so long, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay. She has kept her hand on the iron rod and never deviated. And I would have probably looked at that in my ex-Mormon phase as like she's had no experiences. Okay. But now that I'm out of that and I can look at it with a full 360 view, I realize that, is it 360? No, is it 180? 360, 180. Okay, I'm an English teacher. I'm not a mathematician. But I now look at that like, what a beautiful path. What a beautiful path. She met her soulmate at a really young age. They've had an amazing marriage. I've known them almost their entire marriage. They are each other's person. They were raised in the church. They both come from like strong pioneer stock. They both come from big Mormon families. And they've had no reason to leave. They've had no reason to question. The church has provided all of the answers that they need to feel safe, to feel whole, to go through their lives raising their children in the church. And they have devoted their lives to doing that. Does that mean that they haven't had moments of doubt or like hardship? No, of course not. They're human. But for the most part, the church has worked beautifully for them. Their relationship works beautifully. And they have lived a peaceful life in that regard as far as their faith. They've never felt the need or had to deviate from that. And there is nothing less worthy about that. That's actually a wonderful, beautiful blessing that they have to like have this framework and this tribe and community to be a part of and never have to deviate or question. I look at that now as a miracle. And let's all have respect for people and their various ways of living life. There are infinite ways. It is their one wild and precious life. Let's let them live it how they choose. And let's let them have the emotions around this crazy human experience. This experience is fraught with heavy emotions, some of them gleeful, some of them devastating. Let's let everybody just have their emotions. And does it mean that we tolerate disrespect? No, I think that we need to have boundaries and stand up for ourselves if we're being disrespected. But a lot of these like tit for tat fighting that happens between ex-Mormons and Mormons can actually just be laid to rest. Like, live and let live. Let's let people have their experience and respect and honor for it, because it truly is, as this commenter says, multidimensional, ever changing, and you never know when somebody's going to jump onto a new timeline, pick a new archetype, have a new experience.